this week. Let me just tell you that everything that you're seeing right now on YouTube, most likely you're seeing this on YouTube, is being streamed live on Twitch before it gets uploaded to YouTube. So if you ever want to see the video as it's being made, if you ever want to come hang out, drop questions, have comments while the video is going on, let's literally like 5 videos a week. Go to, here, let me just pause that because that's going to look really weird. Go to twitch.tv/Cody Marchant. The link to this is going to be in the description below if you want to come check that out. We're going to be live on Twitch a ton. It shows, basically, as you can see right down here, it'll show my exact schedule for the entire week. Sunday mornings, I'm live. Monday mornings, I'm live. That's the first look. Tuesday, I'm live 4 times. That's best quarterbacks and tight ends, best running backs right now, best receivers, and then finally the Thursday night showdown plate, which is going to be later on today in about 2 hours. So just so you know, that's going to be live. Check us out on twitch.tv if you haven't. But let's get into the action. We're talking about the running back position, right? What better way to start talking about the running back position than at the top with Ezekiel Elliott? Yes, you thought I was going to say Saquon. We're going to talk about Zeke. Because the thing is, he's the chalk play. 8,900. He's back. 23 carries last week. We were kind of nervous watching the preseason games. He held out. Training camp, he held out. Week 1, he came back. Only had 13 attempts rushing. But this is a much better matchup. He looks like he's going to be back to what he normally gets. The one downside that I do want to point out is at the passing game usage. It was really encouraging to see what he brought to the table last year, seeing, all those targets. I do unfortunately think that's going to come down this year, and that's not just recency bias. The thing is, I'm looking at what Kellen Moore looks like, what he wants to do with this offense as the new offensive coordinator. He's taking more shots on first down. He's getting the receivers more involved downfield, and I think that Zeke is going to be one of those people that do take, the big hits on Dak being a better passer. Honestly, I think that Zeke is not going to see the safety blanket usage as much because I don't think that's as needed. I think he's going to get more usage in design plays. But the thing is he's still Zeke Elliott, still has that offensive line, still going to be playing with leads. And week 1 at home in a 21-point, I think it's a 21-point favorite against the Dolphins. I know it doesn't matter specifically because it's either 17.5, 20, or 21 points. He's a huge favorite. Where is he? Yeah, that is definitely a 21-point favorite right there. So, oh, my bad, guys. So, huge home favorite running back and the best player probably at the position when it comes to fantasy for me. Zeke Elliott, 8,900. That is the chalk. You guys figure out if you want to eat it or not. Saquon Barkley at the top, 9,100. Guys, he destroyed Tampa Bay last year for 36 Draftkings points. I think he had multiple touchdowns. Look at what he's done so far this season with limited touches, 11 for 120, 18 for 107, 6 and 7 targets in the passing game, and Daniel Jones was just now named the starter for week 3 at Tampa Bay. I don't think that they have anything for Saquon. I think that they're going to try to have a pretty good mix of Saquon on the ground and Saquon in the passing game to really protect their rookie investment in Daniel Jones. 9,100. Saquon's as safe as it gets, honestly. CMC in a get-right matchup. It really sucks the news on Cam Newton because I think this would be like an auto pick for me at 8,700. He's coming off a bad performance in prime time. I think he would be lower owned. If it wasn't for Cam not playing, this is too easy. It's kind of different with Kyle Allen, so I don't know. If I'm going to get to 8,700, I'm probably going to get to 8,900 with Zeke. It would be different if Cam Newton was the quarterback. Kamara 8K, it's just I can't get there after getting burned last week until I see Teddy Bridgewater target him more than one time through 3 quarters. Dalvin Cook's been on my team both weeks so far this season. He has just been a stud. Last week I almost wasn't on him. I didn't get on him till I didn't get up to him until Saturday or Sunday morning. But the game plan for the Vikings is just too good to pass up, and he's just too talented, honestly, to be under 8K. I think it's still too cheap. Dalvin Cook, if you want to get that, I think that's pretty easy plug and play. Austin Eckler, 7,200, finally getting some respect. He's been an absolute monster. Basically, what Philip Rivers is going to do without Hunter Henry, he's going to give 70% of the targets to Keenan Allen. He's going to give 25% to Austin Eckler, and then everybody else fights for 5%, 10, whatever. Whatever I said, the math equal 100%. I think I said 70-20. Then everyone else is going to fight for the 10%. So I think Austin Eckler is going to be used on the ground, in the goal line, in the passing game. I think 7,200 is too cheap still. Lev Bell is just a beast. Oh my God, do I wish he was on another team. He looked so good again in Monday Night Football. That team sucks around him. 10 catches on 10 targets. I mean, he still has it. This is as tough a matchup as he gets against against New England. Everyone knows that Bill Belichick likes to take away the best weapon. That is Le'Veon Bell pretty clearly. David Johnson, not going to get there. James Conner, he's hurt. Aaron Jones, I love this spot at 6,100. We finally got to see what it looks like with Aaron Jones in a workhorse role at 27 touches. And it looks like 28 Draftkings points in a pretty tough matchup. And this matchup is still tough, but nowhere near as tough against Minnesota. They are at home. They are a pretty good favorite. Very specifically, they are a Green Bay. I just saw them. Yeah, they're like a 7.5 point favorite at home. Let me just cancel out Twitch so I stop clicking back onto that tab. Aaron Jones, 6,100. I love to see his usage. If they can be anywhere near that 20 touch per game mark, 6,100 is just way too cheap for the talent and the offense that Green Bay has. Sony Michel looked better, but he's just been inefficient. I'm not going to get there. Chris Carson, fumbling issues are pretty sketchy. New Orleans Saints defense is pretty good, so I'm not going to get there. One guy I really want to talk about is Marlon Mack. I was kind of off him once the Andrew Luck news broke, but 25 carries in week 1 and 20 carries in week 2. In week 2, it was just kind of, I thought they lost. I'm really surprised. Did they really win that game? Hold on, guys. Let me just do this for myself. Indianapolis versus Titans. Week 2. Wow. Goes to show what I know. I really thought the Titans won that game. Anyways, against one of the easily top 3 defenses in the league, whether people want to admit it or not. Tennessee Titans are legit on every facet of defense. Marlon Mack, yes, considerably struggled against that team, but 25 touches week 1, 22 touches week 2. At 5,800 at a home game against not a great defense, definitely not a top 10, 15 defense. 5,800 for a cash game where you're looking to get those 20 to 25 touches out of your running backs. I think it's pretty easy to plug in Marlon Mack in a lot of lineups this week. Mark Ingram, not getting there. Carry on. I understand C.J. Anderson was cut today, but I probably still won't get there until I see a little bit more. Mixon, Breida, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Samuels. Speaking of Jalen Samuels, let's see what's up with our boy James Conner. I know he's questionable. Conner reiterated that he expects to play Sunday against the 49ers. He doesn't know if he'll practice, but he's doubling down on that he's going to play. Cool. I'm probably not going to get to Jalen Samuels at 5,300. Let's just scroll this up a little bit. Shady McCoy, Devontae Freeman, Raheem Mostert. That's the name to know at 4,700. Let's go over to hideandseek.com. I'll bring up my sheet of every single player at DFS. Well, it's not every player, because I try to take away the people that are just clearly not going to be in play for me this week. But pretty much at the top of the list, I have 10 to 12 people that are typically in play in my player pool. We already talked about Zeke. We already talked about CMC, Dalvin Cook, Marlon Mack, Saquon. We talked about Eckler, Aaron Jones. The guys we have not talked about are in green, which means that I don't think they're as talented of players, but I like the spots. That is the Denver Bronco backfield, and that is Carlos Hyde and Damian Williams. So let's talk about the Broncos first. Let's go to the Denver backfield. They're pretty much the same price, 4,400 and 4,300. I think they've had some tough matchups to start the season. I think that Green Bay is a really good defense, and it is much improved. But this offense does want to run the ball. As you see, 10 and 11 carries for Royce Freeman, and then Philip Lindsay, I'm pretty sure was over double-digit carries in both games as well, 11 and 13. So they're going to be both running the ball 10 to 15 times, and they're both probably going to average 4 to 6 targets. So it really looks like both players are going to have a 12 to 16 touch expected range of outcomes. And at 43 and 4,400, I do like to get up to one of them. Basically, pick your poison. Royce Freeman, to me, has looked like the better player. Philip Lindsay still looks like a little jitterbug, but he hasn't just broken one of those plays, so he always has that upside. I do kind of like Royce Freeman here at 4,400. I don't know if you have to get that cheap, but you would say if you wanted to stack maybe Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. So this is just one way to get there. And the other one I wanted to talk about, who is a top 10 NFL rusher to start the season is Carlos Hyde. It's so gross to say, but he saw 20 carries last week, 90 rushing yards, and I think that specifically Carlos Hyde has handled 67% of the rushes out for the running backs for this team, so he is their main ball carrier. Duke Johnson still has his always Duke Johnson role. Like, he's still going to catch passes, but he's not going to get 15 touches in a game. 15 carries in a game. It's just not what they want to do with him. Last week he had 6 carries. Week 1 he had 9. So Carlos Hyde at 4,500 is a name to know. I do like both the Bronco running backs better than Carlos Hyde, but it is a great option if you want to look there as well. And the last place I want to look, I think it's going to be pretty low owned in a shootout and who looks to be on the field. Oh, hold on. Maybe not, because we see a big Q next to his name. I know he got banged up. I didn't know how. I just saw Dr. William Meyer will perform the core muscle surgery, which usually has a recovery of 4 to 6 weeks. Who got hurt? Okay. I mean, I'm really curious, but I'm on stream, so I'm not going to look into it. Yes, I will. Okay, it's just a left tackle. Cool. Nothing, I mean, yeah, it's the main guy protecting Patrick Mahomes, but it's not Damian Williams. It's nothing like that. So basically what I was trying to say before I got distracted by myself was that Damian Williams, yes, has been terribly inefficient on the ground, but he looks to be hugely involved in the passing game, and this is a passing attack that you do want to get pieces of against his Baltimore offense. I think against his Baltimore defense, I think that Damian Williams has looked like he could break a lot of deep passes in week 1. One big one got called back for holding. I think the same exact thing happened in week 2. So he's not just getting these dinky dunk-offs passes. He's running routes. He's running wheel routes. He's running arrows. He's running 10-yard outs. Like, he's running routes from the backfield. So Damian Williams at 5,200 I think is a lot cheaper than – he's kind of in that no man's land. That's what I like to call people price from 5,000 to 7,000. Where it's like there's no clear direction. It's not like you're really cheap, and it's not like you're paying up for a stud. So Damian Williams in that no man's land at 5,200 is the last place I do want to talk about for this stream. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Like I said, if you want to see these videos live, go over to twitch.tv/Cody Marchant. Links in the description below. Subscribe to these videos if you're not already. If you just want to see me on YouTube, subscribe and like the video, and I'll keep making these videos. I'll keep hanging out with you guys. I appreciate it. That's all for this one, and I'll talk to you guys next time.